Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another audiobook review. Today's audiobook we're going to be reviewing is Cleopatra's Moon, published in 2011 originally, written by Vicky Schroeter, I think is how you pronounce it, and read for us by Christian Porter. So background, first of all, on the author Vicky. Vicky started off doing non-fiction rather than doing fiction like this book is. And this is one of her first books going into the, as she calls it, young adult historical fiction genre. Which that's what this book is, Cleopatra's Moon, which is, and I'll get into more about that shortly. Another interesting thing about this audiobook is it actually has an interview at the end of the audiobook with Vicky. It's a very interesting interview and definitely worth staying to the end of the audiobook to check it out, and just a bonus addition to the audiobook, which I think things like that, more audiobooks should add into their books and their narrations when they finish, rather than just the end, bye. Now, moving on to Kirsten Porter narrating this audiobook. I thought she did a really good job. Haven't listened to any other audiobooks from her as of yet that I know of. But yes, this audiobook is in the first point of view of the main character, and I think Kirsten voice fits the main character really well, and she's good at changing her voice up so you can understand that it's a different character here and there as well. Does a good job. Now, the story itself is set obviously in ancient Egypt and ancient Rome. It's set around the main character Cleopatra Selene. Selene means moon, by the way. That's where the title of the book comes from. Who is the daughter of Cleopatra, as we tend to know the name Cleopatra is associated with, and Mark Antony's, which is a famous Roman general and historical figure. So it's set around their daughter. The story is set mainly after they lose a battle against their Roman enemy Octavius, who takes over Rome after Mark Antony is killed or commits suicide. And in this story, Cleopatra Selene and her two brothers are taken by Octavius to be raised in Rome by Octavius's extended family. Needless to say, it's not a good environment for them. They have a lot of trouble, a lot of conflict, and Cleopatra, it's definitely a tale of her growing up. She's very naive at the start. She's very young, by the way, at the start of the book, and by the end she's still young, but in ancient times old enough to be considered an adult. So it's about her growing up and realising that it won't all go back to the way it used to be. It won't turn out the way she thought it's going to be, and that she needs to think outside the box, so to speak, in order to survive and also find happiness at the end. Really good story. Definitely worth the listen to. Kept me entertained. It also got me to the point where I was interested in researching Cleopatra Selene afterwards, seeing what was actually true in the audiobook and what was more based on what the author had just written in. Like I said, the author has a background of non-fiction books, and I've listened to one other of her non-fiction books, and does a really good job with non-fiction and knows what she's writing about. And I think it's really interesting that she gives us a story here which has historical accuracy plus the read in between the lines thoughts and feelings that people may or may have not gone through based on obviously Vicky's opinion, to fill in those gaps that unfortunately we can't fill in with facts and figures. So 5 out of 5, worth listening to. Hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Thank you. Bye.